What's up, y'all? Rob here, Level Up Notary. I just wanted to go over some tips with you guys about whenever you're going into someone's home. And this is going to be a COVID edition, basically. Pretty much most of these will apply even if this COVID thing blows over. First and foremost, you really need to have good customer service skills in this line of work, or at least fake it really good. Kind of goes without saying, always be nice and courteous and respectful of others. You know, everyone that's there, not just the signer, pets included. You gotta love the fur babies, even if they're acting up and jumping off walls and biting you in the butt and everything else. You know, try to hold it together. You know, they are accepting a stranger into their home, and it'll just make the entire signing go smoother if you have a good attitude and good customer service skills. I like to compliment them on the house or something that's in the house, or, you know, on their pets, or make some small talk about the pets, or you know, something of that nature to break the ice. Try not to go up in there all gloomy and making negative comments, you know, and complaining about things. You know, if at all possible, don't do that. You know, if they bring something negative up, you can empathize with them, but try to steer away from any kind of that negativity if possible. You know, that could just end up being a recipe for disaster, generally. So, you know, you want to bring friendliness and positivity with you. If, you know, as best you can. Some people are naturals at doing that and some people aren't, you know, and it doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person or whatever. It's just, you know, people's personalities are different. Like me, you know, I tend to have to put a little bit of effort into it. I consider myself pretty much generally an introvert. You know, that might require a little effort on your part if you're like me, going into people's homes. And I plan on doing another video on how to be a notary as an introvert, because you're constantly interacting with people in this line of work. So be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos of this nature. Also, it helps to look at the signers' names again on the documents before you go into their house. I know this kind of sounds dumb, but I don't know how many times I've got to the door and then I just cannot remember their names. I'm freaking terrible about remembering names. I like to, before I go in, I'll try to kind of like chill myself out, you know. Sometimes I'm chill, sometimes I'm not. I usually take a deep breath, calm myself down. I'll look at their names before I go in, you know, try to remember them, their first names before I go in, or even their last names if you have the capability. It's awkward when you go in there and you have to look at the paperwork to see their names, see who you're dealing with. You know, it's just good etiquette to have their names in your noggin before you go in. We don't really have a dress code per se, like some jobs do, but you still want to look nice. You're representing the title company or whoever you're signing company, whoever you're working for. Generally, I would say you want to dress business casual. You know, you don't want to overdress, go in there looking like James Bond with a tuxedo or a suit or anything. But, you know, you also don't want to go in there with flip-flops and shorts and a heavy metal t-shirt or something like that, you know. Yo, everybody having a good time tonight? You know, think business casual. As a guy, I wear button-up shirts, dress shoes, and dress pants. Make sure my hair ain't wild before I go in, stuff like that. You know, if I wear short sleeves, I have all these tattoos on me, so I tend to throw on a nice light jacket on top just to cover up my tattoos, because, you know, some people will judge you for that, you know, in this day and age. In the summer, I'll stick to like long sleeve button-up shirts because it's too hot to wear a jacket, and then you just get to sweating in there, and it's you get them swamp pits. And moving along, you know, make sure you don't have, before you go in their house, you know, if you walk through the yard, if it's rainy or muddy or whatever, if there's any chance that you might have gotten mud or or dog poop on your shoe or something like that. You know, you don't want to track that inside their house, so kind of be mindful of that. And all this stuff, it'll become second nature. I mean, a lot of it probably already is. You know, some cultures you might run into a family where they want you to remove your shoes before you enter their home. You know, if you walk up and you see shoes lined up at the door, you might want to ask if they want you to remove your shoes. Alternatively, they have covers that go over the shoes or over your socks. You know, you can buy those if you like, and you can get those for cheap on Amazon and different places. This seems to be kind of a rare thing here in Texas. I haven't even ran across it personally, but I know it is a thing. It is possible. During these COVID times, I think it's a good idea to use hand sanitizer before you go into their home, and then again after you go into the home. Latex gloves don't bother you. You might consider just wearing latex gloves. You know, not only is an extra layer of protection COVID, but it also, that rubber helps you turn those pages a lot easier a lot of times. They also sell rubber fingertips. I haven't had much success using them myself because like this is a little box of rubber fingertips that I got from Amazon. It was pretty cheap. I want to say less than $5, maybe like $3 or something, but you know, it just goes over your finger like so. These are extra large size 14s because I wanted them to fit over my thumb, but I kind of go back and forth using them because they're pretty thick, and I haven't really decided if they help me or if they're for me or not. But I do know one of my mentor actually uses them, and that's where I got the idea from. So I'm still going back and forth on that. The verdict's still out whether I like those or not, but that might be an option for you, you know, to help turn those pages. I think I'm gonna try the latex gloves out. I just don't know. I don't want my hands to get all sweaty, or you have them like tear in the middle of the signing or something like that. You know, I got big hands. Big, good, strong hands. Moving on. Also, don't forget your face mask during these COVID times. You know, as here in Texas, we say during all this mess, you know, some people don't mind you not wearing a mask around them, but I suggest you always put your mask on before going to the door. If they aren't wearing one and they offer for you to take yours off, if you want to do that, feel free. You know, you can do that, but I would suggest you just keep it on to be safe. And there's a few other reasons why you might want to keep it on, which I'll get to in a minute. One being resting bitch face. I'll try my best not to cuss on this channel, but hey, you know, that's what it is.
You might have
resting bitch face.
Like I have a bad case of it myself sometimes, you know, when I'm not thinking about it and my face goes relaxed. Like, that's my face, you know what I'm saying? That's how it rests. You know, it looks like I'm unhappy when I'm not. If you're wearing a mask, it's not as noticeable. You know, that's a benefit of wearing a mask. And the next tip that I'm gonna give is if the house smells bad after you go inside, a mask can help a little bit. You know, sometimes it won't if it's just a nasty smelling house. Maybe they cook something funky, maybe, who knows, maybe their toilet's overflowing, maybe they got animals pooping on the carpet everywhere. Who knows? You don't know what you're going to walk into. So if you go into a house that smells terrible and it's distracting you, you just might tell them that you're going to run to the car real quick to grab something, or if you feel comfortable asking them to use their restroom for a moment, go to one of those places and put a little bit of Vicks under your nose. You'll be smelling that Vicks a lot more usually than the bad smells. A lot of people don't like Vicks. I mean, it can be pretty strong, or for whatever reason you don't want to use Vicks. They have like mustache waxes for the guys, or usually you can find something to put on there where you'll be smelling that instead of their nasty ass house. The mask will also kind of cover up that you have something on your lip. If you can kind of see it, you'll have the mask on there, so they don't think you're sick or something's up. They don't get embarrassed or pissed off, that you think their house smells, or whatever. The mask can helps out with all that. While you're there, you don't want to advertise your other notary services. You're there to do that signing. You're not there to market yourself. However, what I do is I ask them if I could leave my business card with them. Every single time hey, can I leave a couple business cards with you? You might need Notary Public in the future, or if you want me to come do another signing for you guys in the future, you can request me. So yeah, I do that. I'll leave my business cards, but I don't try to like market beyond that. I always like to go over the closing package a second time while I'm there and while they're there. So if I need them to make any changes, I'm there with them and we can do that. So, I'll ask if it's okay. Hey, is it cool if I sit here and go over the package one more time real quick? That way, make sure everything's filled out correctly. Go back over the package, double check it. Most people will be fine with this. Everyone wants this to be done correctly. If by some reason they're in a big rush, you've been there too long already. I've had some signings go on for like 3 hours. Sometimes you'll get those readers or those talkers, or if they have a question, they might have to call it in, and you're waiting on hold for a while. So you never know. You might be there 30 minutes or you might be there 3 hours. You just never know. You gotta prepare for that too. I usually finish off the closing by thanking them for their time, giving them my card. I try to make some quick but pleasant small talk before you leave, just to kind of leave a friendly impression. If you guys have some more tips that you want people to see regarding going into people's houses, please leave them in the comments, or if there's anything you have to add, or if you have any questions for me, please leave them. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, all that good stuff. And I'll be cranking out these videos every week. So see you next time, and level up.